Hello everyone, how you all doing? In this video, we are going to talk about the top 5 reasons why you should still in 2025 consider buying an iPhone 14 Pro. So, number 1, iPhone 14 Pro is not available to the public directly from Apple because Apple every year they just replace the Pro device with a new one at the same price, but yeah, it is not directly available from Apple. The standard variants are available, but iPhone 14 standard version is it's not the best deal. Actually, it's the worst deal. So in this video, we are going to talk about the iPhone 14 Pro and top 5 reasons why you should still in 2025 consider getting one if you are getting one at a good price from eBay or a refurbished model. We are going to talk about all of that in this video. My name is Jay. You are watching Tech Hyped. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button because I keep on making these type of videos for you guys and I don't want you guys to miss these. Let's get right in today's video. We are going to start with the reason number 1. That is the display. The screen quality of iPhone 14 Pro in 2025 is just amazing. It has a Super Retina XDR display. In other words, it has really crisp and clear display. It is a OLED panel which is super dark and super contrasty. It is very saturated and at the same time not as saturated as Samsung ones. This is the best part. Apple displays are true to life. They are as close as it can be to the natural colors. If we talk about Samsung displays, they are moreover on the warmer and more saturated side, which is not bad at all. They make one of the best displays. I'm not saying that Samsung displays are bad by any means. In fact, the iPhone display is also sourced by Samsung. But yeah, to be very honest, the color contrast and calibration of colors is just better on iPhones. And so is the case with the iPhone 14 Pro. The display quality is amazing. It is really bright outdoors. But yeah, the only problem is the brightness goes down after using it under sunlight for about 15 minutes, which is actually a case with all iPhones, I'd say. But yeah, in general, the display quality and the brightness is really good and top notch. Even after the brightness goes down, when you are using it in direct sunlight, it is still visible. Unlike other iPhones, like the standard ones, the iPhone 12, 13. So if you are coming from those devices, the 14 Pro is definitely a really good upgrade. Then the reason number 2 is the battery life. The battery life is something which we have heard a lot from people, that iPhone 14 Pro battery life is bad, this, that. It is two sides of every story and it's not going to go anywhere. Let me explain. The battery life of iPhone 14 Pro is amazing. For its size, it is amazing. I have been using a 6.1 inch display device like the middle model. We have a max variant, we have a standard one, then we have the Pro one. I have been using the 6.1 size for a long time, basically ever since Apple released the 11 Pro. Since that time I have been using the standard device, the 6.1 inch variant, so I have a good idea of it. The battery life is amazing for its size. Even after all these years of use, my iPhone 14 Pro is sitting at 84% battery health, which is about average, I'd say. But even after sitting at 84% of battery health, it is still lasting me a whole day. It is not like I am not able to end my day with a good amount of battery life left. Like, I do still end my day at about 20 to 25%, which is amazing. And definitely I should mention this, that most of my day goes on cellular data. The reason number 3 is the build quality. The build quality of iPhone 14 Pro is spectacular. Now we have the titanium build from the 15 Pro onwards. The 14 Pro was the last iPhone with stainless steel. But to be very honest, the stainless steel bands, in my experience, except for the weight factor, which actually eventually after some time when you use your device, your hands just get used to it. And not gonna lie, I never felt that weight was an issue on iPhone 14 Pro until I held both of the 15 Pro and 14 Pro side by side. And personally, I'd never pay extra for the weight reduction only. Not to forget, we have seen a lot of drop tests and we noticed that iPhone 14 Pro, because it does not have those rounded sides, it survives the durability and drop test by a charm. Yeah, that's where iPhone 14 Pro is actually better even after having a cheaper material, stainless steel over titanium. It survives the durability and drop test better compared to the 15 Pro. Now, the reason number 4 is speakers. Speakers of iPhone 14 Pro is loud and crystal clear. Even after using it for all these years, the 17 Pro is right around the corner, which makes this device almost 3 generation old. Even to this day, the speakers is one of the strongest points. You won't have any issue using the speakers on like somewhere places like airport or places where you have a lot of sound outside. There is road noise or some things like that. You can always hear the speaker. I never had that time in my life where I wanted that I wish I had my AirPods with me, because the speakers are just amazing on the 14 Pro. Watching movies and stuff on these speakers on the iPhone 14 Pro is really good. Reason number 5, and the best one here on this list, it is the cameras. Of course, how can we talk about iPhone and not mention cameras on it? The iPhone 14 Pro, in my opinion, it was the best iPhone in terms of revolution, because right now, if you just think about it, from the 14 Pro to 16 Pro, there is no change as such in terms of hardware. The main revolutionized, so-called revolutionized change that we saw on iPhone, that was going from 12 megapixel to straight up 48 megapixel. That's the change which was implemented on the iPhone 14 Pro, and now the camera sensor size and everything is same. Basically, the main hardware of the camera is the same on the 16 Pro. Now, I'm not saying by any means that the camera of 14 Pro and 16 Pro is exactly the same. Definitely not. But what I'm trying to say is, if you know how to take pictures, you can take amazing photos from even an iPhone 7. If you don't know how to take good pictures, just give yourself a DSLR and you will be just shooting straight up bad photos. If you know how to use the camera properly, which is not the most hardest part of using an iPhone, it has a really easy interface and everything. We are already aware about it. The cameras on the 14 Pro is amazing. That's why I would suggest getting a 256 GB model over a 128, because once you get the hang of using these cameras, it is amazing. There is no going back. Yeah, telephoto camera is something which is miles better on the 16 Pro and actually the 15 Pro as well. But the main sensor and the ultra wide sensor is basically more or less the same on the 14 Pro and the 16 Pro. Well, that's pretty much it for my top 5 reasons why you should get an iPhone 14 Pro in 2025. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. This is me, Jay, aka Tech Hyped, and I am signing off. Peace out and have a great day, everyone.